Yes, the Blood Shinobi is bringing What If Minato and Kushina Adopted Obito and Kakashi Part 4. So, what happened in the recap? Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Tenny and the missing Nin all attacked. And, that went as expected. They all lost. So, yeah, that happened. Some other things happened too. Naruto hasn't been born yet, as you well know. So yeah, we left it off with them meeting A and B. So here you go, intro.
To ashes, when do we burn away? Used to be oh so close, now I see you.
Obito was standing along with Kakashi. They were about to go on their first mission. Well, this was their first mission without Minato Sensei and Kushina. They have to return back to the village. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Asked Obito. Kakashi just nodded his head. Yeah, well, once we get home, we have to go back to yours so we can go check on Rin. Because if what you said's true, he's probably got her somewhere, right? It means he wouldn't have killed her yet. Asked Kakashi. Obito just nodded. His brother was dumb, but he was dumb and that's it. He would have killed, if he had killed her by now, he wouldn't have bothered even bringing her name up. She isn't dead yet, but the quicker we get home, the better, said Obito. Kakashi just nodded at this. They both gave a handshake and a hug to Kushina and Minato, and then they left. They were hopping through the trees. In Konoha, Horizon had heard some disturbing news that Tenny and one had gone to go collect Tenny because he wasn't here for a mission. They had gone in, and what they saw was a mess. It was trashed, it was bloody, and Tenny had papers of betraying Lily. It was all what he was planning, tend to be Rin. He had looked out of all the places that Tenny could have been for Rin. It had said that Rin was trapped and chained up, and that would good, and then he could transform with a henge into her so that he could check her out, make sure she's not dumb. But that left for debate changed some things. They need to know one thing. He needs to know one thing. Where the hell is he? Where is Rin? Rin can't be dead yet, can she? There's all the thoughts that Horizon went by. For the next 2 days, Horizon was looking around. He had Anbu searching for Rin. She's the ninja of Konoha and attacked by a missing Nin. So there's no way that she isn't alive. There is a way she's alive, but there's a way she isn't. Horizon doesn't know anymore. He wants to make sure she's alive, so he's not chewed up by Minato and Kushina for letting this die. But they didn't even know. They went on their mission and they had Rin, so they didn't even know. So he could have killed them, because of all the missing in he had, they could all be dead, right? But, Naruto doesn't know, right? Naruto, yeah, it's a Naruto what if. Yeah, I keep getting Naruto mixed up, because normally when I do a what if, there's Naruto in it. So yeah, Horizon was just sitting there, dang it, taking a puff of his pipe, and 2 figures burst in through his window, breaking it. One was Kakashi and one was Obito. Did you find her yet? Asked Obito. Horizon didn't know what he meant by this, and then he realized. Do you mean, her, as in, Rin? Asked Horizon. Kakashi and Obito both nodded. Yeah, and they both decided they'll go where they think she is. And then Obito looked at Kakashi. my house, my basement or attic, said Kakashi. No, Obito. Kakashi looked at him. You take basement, I take, attic, said Kakashi. Yeah. Obito nodded, and they both decided to leave. They both shunshined out of there. Hey, so what does Obito know Shunshin thought Horizon? Horizon just let fly. Naruto was sitting in Minato's sack. Yes, I had to. Kakashi and Obito were sitting in Horizon's office 5 hours later after finding Rin. 4 hours ago, Kakashi was searching through the attic. He found old scrolls about the Sharingan, about ancient powers of the Sharingan that can be unlocked through types of training. Kakashi thought about these. He might look into it. And then he goes through. There's a different stage. It's called the Mangekyo Sharingan. And there is, if you do all these ancient abilities, you get a different type of Sharingan. It's basically not the Rinnegan or Eternal. It's the Eternal Sharingan. It is, you have to have Eternal Mangekyo first to get the Eternal Sharingan. But its abilities consist of your own abilities. Kakashi looked at this. If him and Obito had this, what powerhouses would they be? What do they need to go through to get this strong Sharingan? Kakashi doesn't know. He'll look into it later. He also found some old Senju and Uchiha weapons. There was swords, war fans, and even body armor. And then there was notes on Sage Mode and all different types of Kekkei Genkai. And that the Eternal Sharingan can copy the first Kekkei Genkai you see. So like lava release or ice release. This type of stuff. But to fully master it, you have to go in your mindscape and redesign your design as well, along with the Eternal. It is basically a power-up boost. But no one else knows about this except Kakashi, maybe Madara Uchiha. And there is a way to copy all Kekkei Genkai. You just need to have enough power over your mind to build chambers for each. And then you seal them on yourself. You release them, you can release the Kekkei Genkai. But you need to be a seal master. Kakashi just shrugged his shoulders. These will be helpful. He'll take this to Minato Sensei's house after, when they go home. Why did his father and mother have these? Kakashi then realized something. It was torn in half, and then Kakashi remembered something in his old home. The ones his parents lived in. He saw half of these papers before. He shunshined over to his house after having two shadow clones look throughout his home, through the attic, just to make sure Rin wasn't in there. But she wasn't. That's good. Kakashi in his house went through his attic and basement to find the other set. It was the completed set. And that helped everyone. Naruto just chuckled to this. Well, if Naruto was here. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. Keep saying Naruto instead of Kakashi or other people. Kakashi just shrugged his shoulders as he read. It told about how to get the Eternal and how to get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakashi doesn't want to get the Mangekyo because you have to see someone you love die. He doesn't really want that happening anytime soon. So it'd be best if that didn't happen. And then he read about this Eternal Sharingan. And you have to take either a war fan with you or bow. There's all different types of things that you can get from it. Kakashi was chuckling to himself though. he could become a powerhouse along with Obito. And they could save the planet and have utter peace. But that's not what Kakashi wants. He just wants to do missions, live with his beautiful wife to be, if he ever thinks about it. Then there is one thing he needs to do before he does anything else. He returns back to Obito's house. 10 minutes earlier, Obito was going through the bottom half of the basement, Tenny's half. Because everyone except Obito got a half. Once you unlock your Sharingan, you get a part of the basement. His part, when he went through, had nothing of valuables to him. But then there was Tenny's. You don't go in anyone else's one, but Obito had gone through his mother and father's one. There were stuff on Wood Release, stuff on all the lost family members, and there was still more stuff to go around. Obito was happy, but then he walked through Tenny's, and he saw ripped clothing and chains coming off the ground. No wonder he never wanted people near a pigsty. There's a bit of blood, and he could hear huffing and puffing. He ran to the far end to see Rin. She was basically unconscious. Obito picked her up. "Rin, are you okay?" asked Obito. Rin just chuckled to herself. "I'm not as bad as you think." She spat out blood. She had been beaten as well by Turning, because if he somehow survived, he needed to make sure she was dead by the time that he got here. But she was still alive. He ripped off the chains, and she fell on him. He took this as a moment. He couldn't let her get away with this. He gave her a fat kiss, and she returned it. "I'm sorry, Obito, for not seeing how you really were. I'm a dumbass," is all that Rin said before she passed out. Naruto... Well, I wish Naruto was here, but I can't keep saying him. Kakashi shunshined in to see Rin in bridal style in Obito. "Ah, you found her," said Kakashi as he was scratching his hair. "I found her, but she's badly beat. We need to get her back to the village and all that," said Obito. Kakashi nodded. A couple weeks later, Naruto, Kakashi and the group were going on the first mission led by Jonin Kakashi. It was to destroy a bridge and all this other stuff too. But they couldn't do that yet. They needed a Jonin sensei to come with them, but they had no one. So Kakashi was put up to Jonin just for this, so he can help. He's also got another one with them. Someone that they wouldn't know. But Rin knows, it's her sister. Her sister was told to come along with her. So that's how it's going to. Her sister, Maya, and Kakashi, Obito, and Rin were going. Obito and Rin, while they've been waiting for Minato, has been sleeping a lot together. They've become a nice little relationship. They love each other. They've fallen for each other. And they're always together when he's not training or they're not asleep. He wishes that Minato and Kushina could have been there for his first kiss, but he realizes now that they have places to be. We all have places to be. He just chuckled to himself though, because Minato and Kushina haven't been around lately. They haven't been back since they went to Como, which everyone chuckled because they missed them, but at the same time they're doing us great. Kakashi was going to lead this mission as Jonin, and Rin's sister, kinda thought Kakashi was cute, But then, as they were about to leave, Anko came out of nowhere. Kakashi, what are you doing without saying goodbye? Said, Anko. Obito was the only one who knew why she was asking this. Kakashi just shrugged his shoulders. I don't know. I couldn't find you anywhere, Rin. Well, I couldn't find you anywhere, Anko. I was too busy training, you know? Said Kakashi. Anko just shrugged her shoulders. So whatever, you say that all the time. It's like you never have time for me anymore, asked a pissed off Anko. It's not that, it's just that, you know, I'm busy. There is some things that I can't control. I am going to be joining after this, so I'll take you out after, said Kakashi. Anko nodded. You better, because I'm not wasting my time for someone that doesn't respect me, said Anko. Kakashi just shrugged his shoulders. Yeah, whatever you say. Don't die on me, such and such, I won't. Don't get yourself killed, I won't. Don't be a dumbass, I'm not. Oh, and don't go making love to any other women, I won't. So stop being worried, Anko. I am very, very loyal, you know. If I wasn't, I don't think I'd have Rin's sister coming along, said Kakashi. And then Anko noticed Rin's sister. If you do anything to him, I'll make sure you're dead, said Anko. Rin's sister Maynard just nodded. She kinda scared at this thought. She might be dead after this. If she makes a move on Kakashi. She can't do that, can she? She can't threaten a ninja of Konoha, but then she realized something. Wait, yes she could. Because Kakashi's her boyfriend. That's why she's saying this. Not just because she wants to be with him, it's because they are together. Rin just kind of chuckled at this. She would have been nice to be with Kakashi, but the way Kakashi and Anko look at each other, it's as if she never had a chance. And she knows this now. She never would have had a chance with Kakashi. She accepts that because she's with Obito. Obito of all people is better than Kakashi in so many ways. Why? Because he acknowledges her, doesn't say rude things to her, and is by her side when she needs him. But then there's Kakashi. He lifted Anko up and had her legs wrap around his waist as he gave her a kiss. A long and meaningful kiss that lasted about 10 minutes. Anko finally stood by herself. Good, that's what I wanted. Now you better come back in one piece to me, or I'm gonna rip you apart and put you in peace, and then rip you apart again until you're in pieces. Got it? Said Anko. Kakashi just gulped at this. Yes, I got it. As Kakashi left, he turned back as he was just out of sight to see Anko. She was eating dango. Dang it, she got to my stash, didn't she? Said Kakashi. Kakashi tried to pull out dango from his back pocket, but there was none. She had taken them off of him. She had stolen his damn dango of all things. He was not accepting this. She can't just throw my dango just because I'm gonna get her for this, said, Kakashi. What's so frustrating, asked Obito. He just said one thing. Rin. Does Rin take your food, your special food that you have just in case you get hungry on a trip? No. Anko thought it was smart to take all my dango. So yeah, that's that, said Kakashi. Oh, so she's taking your food now, chuckled Rin. Kakashi just shrugged his shoulders. She can do what she wants as long as she's behaving herself, chuckled Kakashi. Everyone was shocked at what he was saying. He wasn't caring. As long as she's loyal, he doesn't care. She can sleep with other guys. It's all that Rin thought. Maybe he could sleep with other girls. She doesn't want that though. Her sister might, which wouldn't be good for either of them. Because if she got pregnant, then that means Kakashi would have to deal with Onko again and all this other bullcrap. So it'd be just best that he wasn't. Kakashi and Rin had been making slow pace, and along with the group, they had finally made it to about halfway there to where they're going. Kakashi chuckled to himself though. Because of where it is, there's no way in hell that they could be trapped. And then, this whole, the rest of it's the same Rin getting captured, but instead of Rin, it's Maina, so all three of them go to Rin, go save Maina. She ends up getting crushed, and yeah, they end up getting to her straight away, but because she's weak, she didn't really couldn't last in the genjutsu that she was put in, so she kind of gave away some intel. And also Kakashi, he killed them, and then when they got out, Kakashi activated his Sharingan, and they both used Chidori, killing them all there. Rin was heartbroken. Her only sister had just been killed, had been crushed when the thing went down on him. This shocked Kakashi. He didn't think she would die. He thought she had a little bit of dignity to not die straight away. But Rin and Kakashi, after they had just killed all the Iowa ninja that tried to ambush them, they stood there, huffing and puffing. Obito, can you please get my sister out? And Kakashi, I want to bury her at least, said Rin. They both nodded at this. If their sister or sibling died, they would want to bury them too. But then there's Tenny. No way in hell is he getting buried anytime soon, chuckled Obito. Kakashi knew exactly who he was talking about. He just nodded. Of course he's not. He's a dumbass, is all that Kakashi said. They both nodded and chuckled. They both activated their Sharingan using, Obito using Kamui. He Kamui'd all the objects out of the way, rocks away from her. He could have just done this and saved them a lot of trouble. Wait, no, he doesn't have the Mangekyo. I forgot about that. So yeah, they were too busy pulling them off, destroying all the bricks with a Chidori. This was intentional. No, this is intentional. They want her body to be saved so it can have a proper burial, but they don't know yet. Over with Minato and Kushina. Minato and Kushina were staying in the hotel that they've been staying for the past couple of weeks. Kushina turned to Minato. Did you get it? Kakashi's going to become a jonin, said Kushina. Minato nodded. Yeah, just because I know. I sent him some of my special kunai just in case. So yeah, said Minato. So yeah, this is where we end this part off. So tell me what you think and tell me what should go down in the next part with the bridge and then the Aizobo and thing in Rin and all that. So this is where I actually leave it off.